Hello, everybody. My name's Alice Michael. I'm 35 years old. I live in gender fluid experience, and I am also in Grande Prairie, Alberta, Canada, which is on Treaty 8 territory, which is home of the Beaver, the Cree, the Dene, and the Métis people, who are the original caretakers of this land and who should be given much more authority in the caretaking of this land than they are given. And we should focus part of our lives on giving that back to them. But I am here today to do an oracle reading for the full moon, which is in Gemini, which is my sun sign. I feel very connected this full moon, and I just wanted to give a reading. It's currently 1:11 in the morning on December 15th, 2024. And if you find this message, it is a timeless message, but the energy coming from it is from the full moon in Gemini and is from the December of 2024. We did just have a Friday the 13th on Friday, so that was Freya's day, and that was, it's a special day for me. I really resonate and connect with Norse pagan ancestry, and that's kind of how I try and live an aspect in my life, and it has come through in my readings and in my messages. And I'm going to start with the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck, and we will see what energies we get for you for this full moon. I have a feeling it's going to be good. It's going to be good. There's a lot of big energy right now. We're in Sagittarius season. Have this Gemini full moon. Gemini really shines a lot of duality on things, and that Sagittarius fire makes people want to burn things, I find. And we need to remember that with the duality of Gemini, as I've been trying to learn my whole life, a lot of the time things are more in the middle than we think they are. And there can be, it doesn't always have to be differing opinions, and it doesn't always have to be conflict, and it doesn't always have to be fighting. And we need to work on having more reasonable and open discussions with each other and with self as well. It's really important to think about how you're talking to yourself, and it's really important to think about how your life is going to affect you and how it's also going to affect others. And you also need to think about how others' lives are going to affect you too. So let's see what card comes out. The Hunter. So you are on the hunt, you are on the prowl. This is your energy right now. I feel it. You are ready to strike out. You are ready to live your life. You are ready to do the things you need to do, and you are ready to achieve your goals. When the hunter finds his prey and stalks his prey and finally gets the reward, right? He gets the reward of his hunt and his progress. And when you do that, remember to pay respect. Pay respect to that goal, pay respect to the journey, pay respect to the earth. The sun energy is on the bottom of the deck, which means that the light is shining bright and things are really true. I want to get one more. Let's see where we're going. The Staff. We are stepping into our power. We are stepping into our authority. We are stepping into our sense of self, our sense of belief, our sense of belonging, our sense of absolute power and trust in our ability to remain grounded while we step forward and move forward and make these changes and make these improvements that we're working on and that we're hunting, and as we're chasing that goal. It's just going to help, and it's just going to make it better. Let's see what could be hidden with this. The Seer. So there's a sight and there's a wisdom and there's a knowing within you and within your soul and within yourself that you can trust your intuition and you can trust your discernment and your ability to judge and weigh things and really feel the energies out and really get what's going on with things, and not just have things be and have things exist and have things step through on you, you get to see it coming and make the choices and pivot and shift and adjust and sway. And it's really cold here and it's really icy out. So like as I'm walking, I have to do that physically, right? And it's kind of the same exercise as walking on ice when you're sorting through your thoughts and you're using your discernment and you're trying to find those gaps in the middle of what's going on up here and everything else, right? And the more you can do that, the more you can make sure you stay steady on your feet. And if you have a slip, you'll catch yourself instead of just slide and fall and hit your elbow and hit your head and hit your arm. And like that can still happen, but as long as you move and you're careful, like the hunter who's stalking his prey, if he's not careful while he's doing it, he's just gonna scare it away. The Crow Tarot wants to add to this, so let's do that. Let's see who you are in this from the perspective of tarot. Who you are right now, the Wheel of Fortune. You are a tipping point. You are a balancing point. Like the Wheel of Fortune is so good because the Wheel of Fortune tips and your abundance improves and your just sort of everything improves, right? But the Wheel of Fortune is like the lumberjack on the log. You got to roll it the way that you're comfortable with it. But like the Wheel of Fortune rolls forward in progress, and that takes courage and that takes strength and that takes a resilience and an understanding that like with that faith, it's going to bring something beneficial from it. And when it rolls backwards, we kind of fall into those negative thoughts and those negative patterns and that lack mindset. And we need to remember where we're balancing it. The Wheel of Fortune is just that. It's just a wheel, and it just rolls, and it comes, and it goes, and the cycles just continue over and over again, right? So let's see where you're going with this. Decision. I feel like it's a decision. It's a 10 card. The Wheel of Fortune is the 10 card in the tarot deck, which is like it's like a big decision is being made, and a grand decision is being made, and it's just sort of going to lead to like a great beginning of things with that 1 and that 0 energy. Oh. And where you're going with this is the Fool card reversed. So the Fool card is someone who's starting their journey, starting something over, starting something beginning. The Fool reversed, I feel like this is a journey you already know. This is a path you've already walked. These are things you've already done. It's just that continual doing of them and continual repeating of them in life, because we just have to take the steps every day, right? Like every day you got to take those little steps, and like every day you got to just do as much as you can. You can't do it all. You have to just do as much as you can, and you have to let go of it. You can't, if you don't get it all done, you can't beat yourself up for it, and you can't make your life worse by telling yourself all these bad things. And it's just this constant effort and this constant work and this constant trying to remember that and learn that and get yourself there. And I feel like with that, there's the 2 of Pentacles here, which is, I drew it as, I actually drew it at the same time, but I was told it was the next card. And that's going to be kind of the past energy with this. And the 2 of Pentacles has balance. The 2s are like very stepping forward and just stepping into things. And, again, just continually making those steps, right? Like, because you've already done this journey before, it's just continually making those steps that you've already made. What's something that's helping or hurting here? Flipped over right away. Knight of Wands. Just almost like a moving really fast and trying to make things happen really big, and just with the Wheel of Fortune, it has to do more with pentacles. It has to do more with earth energy, and wands are fire. So the Knight of Pentacles is moving fast and it's kind of burning things, and you just need to make sure that you're not doing that and you're moving from a more grounded, centered, peaceful minded place with it. Which will lead towards... No, what's going to add to this Wheel of Fortune that you might not see? Ace of Wands. So, like, that's just it, is you have that grounded and you have that centered, but, like, it doesn't take the Knight of Wands, who is a court card of the Wands cards and has a lot of energy. The Ace of Wands is one wand. It's you. It's just the crow sitting on top of the wand, looking at the city and knowing, here's the thing I need to do. Spark. What's the final outcome of this? Crows. This crow story about the Wheel of Fortune. The moon in reverse. Illusions are gone. The illusions won't be cast anymore. It'll just be truth. It'll be the sun energy we initially had on this. This is now the lower world. That lower world is getting light shone on it. And when the sun, which is the masculine aspect, shines light off the moon, which is the feminine aspect, then the light itself is genderless. And light itself is genderless. It's just light, right? Like, it doesn't have a masculine or a feminine energy. It's just light. It's just itself. It just is. What's one more thing you want to tell us with this? Yeah, I knew it. I knew it was in there. The Three of Wands. Okay, I need the book for this one. I need the book because I'm being called to read the book. What are the Three of Wands? Right there, first one, page 42, my favorite number, which adds up to 6, which is also my life path. Isn't that interesting? Coincidences? I think not. Okay, so eager for a new adventure, the crow looks across an expansive body of water off in the distance where it sees a new land to explore. He is ready to move beyond the familiar comforts of home to seek new ventures and experiences. The Three of Wands suggests looking for a new beginning or opportunity in your life, whether it is traveling abroad, starting a new project, or going back to school. This card brings the message that now is the time to go after your dreams. They may be significant and as vast as an ocean. Move forward with faith. You will make it across. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's all the crows want to tell us. The oracles of Shadow of Light want to talk, and then the vampires want to talk. So we'll get through those for sure. Okay. Just a reminder that if people would like a reading, they can email me at makersmagic@gmail.com. And also, please, if you're enjoying this, hit the like button and give me a subscribe. I would appreciate it. Makes a difference. Okay. So what do we have? Guidance, but where will it lead you? So what are you going to do with this information? How are you going to take it, right? Like I talked about discernment at the start, and it's important. It's really important. You got to remember, that's just it. The shadows and light are talking. Shadows and light are talking because there's balance needs to happen here. Balance needs to happen. Just purely. I have the shaman deck, which is light. I have the House of Night deck, which is shadow. And you need to work on both. You need to work on both aspects. We're at that middle ground now in the shadow and light, right? I'm at that middle ground in the energy. It started really bright. The crows told a great story too. It was really light, and you saw the neutrality start to exist in there, and the lines start to gray, and it's just making sure that we make the right decisions for our best self. Death in the maiden, invasion, boundaries violated, dominance. So we need to decide how we're going to use our energy. We need to know how we're going to use our energy. This is Ravenfortea because I consider this all consensual, and the tea is consensual, right? Like if you're sharing the tea, the parties have to be consensual in the sharing of the tea. And I'm talking about the tea consent video at the start of what I just said. If you haven't seen it, look it up. If it's in my Discord in the rules section, it's a great video. I am Callie. From death comes rebirth. So there's a rebirth energy. There's like almost a chrysalis energy. Kali's here to support that. I don't specifically myself know much about Kali, but I'm sure if you looked into her and looked it up, there would be something there that resonated with you and connected with you. What's the last thing you want to say, Shadows and Light? The natural world needs you. Fairy of the green world. It is really important right now. That's one of the biggest things that we need to focus on as people, and we need to focus on as a society, is just taking care of the place we are. There's a lot that needs to be taken care of in the world, but like taking care of the things we're in and the things we're connected to and the things we're doing is important, and it'll bring value and it'll bring good things. And the earth is struggling, and it has a lot to do with how we treat it as a society and how we take care of it. And it doesn't have to be big things. You can do little things. If you don't put like recycling in the garbage and you put it in the recycling, then you're helping, right? And like there are probably better ways that we could be doing that as a whole, and there's also better ways that we could be handling our food and stuff, but it's like, how are you going to make those decisions? How are you going to make those informed decisions? And how are you going to find the information to do that? Because it's not easy. Sometimes it's actually really hard, and it takes a lot of learning and a lot of digging and a lot of sifting through things that may not be true to find out what is true, and that takes effort and it takes time, but like it's worth it overall. You don't have to do it all today. Violet Duchess. It can be stifling, it can be boring. Just don't feel stuck with it. Don't get stuck in it. Find ways to do it creatively. Find ways to bring yourself joy in the world. And take care of it. Okay, Nyx. The House of Night, please show us what you want to tell people about the shadow of their path. Listening in reverse. Not listening. Are you listening? Are you listening to yourself? That's the listening, I think. People can say call whatever, but like we have to follow our heart at the end, right? Like we have to follow ourself and make our own decisions, and everybody does. Everybody makes their own decisions, and everybody's allowed to do that, and everybody has the free will. But there is a guiding path, and there is a guiding light, and the more you listen to that, the more beautiful life becomes. Like, the more wonderful it is, the more joyous you are, the more happy your life becomes, the more just sort of accepting of the bad things too, because like you know that you're doing the things that you feel are right, or at least you're making the effort to do the things that you feel are right. You really are. I feel sad. It's okay. And I know how that sounds sometimes, and I know how that feels sometimes. And I know when you want to tell people, no, it's not. But that means that it will be okay. Not that it is, I think. I think that's what people should say more. And it's true. Like every day you survive, you're making it one more. What do you want to add, Nix? Give yourself understanding. Give yourself compassion. Open your arms and accept it. Acknowledge it. That's how you can really, that's the first step, I think, to changing anything. And we're talking shadow, right? So it's changing any of those behaviors, any of those shadow behaviors. They can be a part of you. There's good uses for them, right? Like anger is a big part of my shadow, and like I don't use it like I used to. It used to just and I don't anymore. And it became a defense. That's what it was. I would get angry as a defense. And I could still do that, right? Like there are times when that's appropriate. It's just how you do it and how you decide you're going to do it. And what you're going to do with that space and that energy. Because now it's just like, no, this has to stop. And I'm going to take space. That's okay. You can be upset in that moment to do it. If it hurts someone's feelings, you can apologize it later, but don't stay in it. Don't stay in it and just be angry and try and solve a problem, because this doesn't work when you're mad. Literally. You have the same physical response as if you're scared. Your body freezes up. Like the blood rushes out of your brain and it goes everywhere else, and you're just like in it. And like a lot of the time it's just a defense for fear. At least that's what it was for me. I was scared, so I got angry because I saw that like if you did that, then people would stop. You wouldn't have to be scared. You wouldn't be threatened. There is belonging. There is space. There is space for your shadow. Just sometimes maybe it has to be tempered. Maybe it has to be adjusted. Maybe it just has to be acknowledged. Maybe the truth has to be told. Maybe you need to make sure that other people are understanding you and not just trying to guess. I'm going to look at this as you look at it. High Priestess of Spirit. There's there's light workers, and there's witches, and there's psychics, and there's mediums, and there's channels, and there's readers, and there's, all these different energies of things. There's priests, there's whatever, right? Like, all these different energies of things, and they all do different things, and it's like, what energy are you going to learn? What energy are you going to do? How are you going to tame your chaos? Because that's what matters for you. I truly believe that. Just like I truly believe this message was beautiful. And again, if people liked it, please hit the like button. Please check out my socials if you're enjoying them. Watch my other readings. Honestly, I super appreciate you, and I super appreciate getting to be here and be a part of this. And I hope that you do too. I'm so glad if you came here and you sat through this and you watched this, that you got to participate in it. And I just want to say, peace, love, and unicorns. Allie out.